Dude, I shot a you're not even gonna believe this. And I'm almost kind of like, I don't know if I'm embarrassed to say it. I guess I'm just like insecure about it. I was in a music video, like a music video you see on the internet. And they used to have it on MTV, but now it's just on, it's on YouTube. And this music is by Bhad Bhabie. And our Bhad Bhabie, I think. Bhad Bhabie is, she is that, Cash Me Outside. You know what I'm saying? Cash Me Outside. It's like before Venmo, they had Cash Me Outside. And she was on Dr. Phil. It's like Dr. Phil's stepdaughter or something. And she got angry at Dr. Phil and they were fighting and she was impersonating, kind of more of an urban girl type of vibe. Anyhow, I got to work with Bhad Bhabie and she's got a rap album out now. And there's a video coming out. She has a song called Trust Me. So let me tell you what happened for me. So a friend of mine is the director of the video and he just did her last video. And it's called Gucci Flip Flops. And we'll put the links to them below. You can check it out. And mine is the one I'm in. The one I'm in isn't out yet, man. So I get a text from the director, and he's like, "Hey, would you be interested in doing this? Here's the link of the last one I sent." So I watched the last one. I'm like, "Wow, this thing has, it's got 50-something million views. It's cool looking. It's really artistic. It's funny. It's fun." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that. I'll definitely try this thing out." So. But first I read the script, right? And in the script, I play a pervert. I play a pervert, man. And if you don't know what a pervert is, say you're a masturbator. Say you like to masturbate, right? But say you don't, now suddenly you take your show on the road. That's a pervert. Because a masturbator is somebody who masturbates at their house. A lot of, it could be a man or a woman. Some men like to spray out, and ladies like to kind of more spray in. And a masturbator is somebody that does that, sprays out or in. But a pervert is somebody that's like, but you do that indoors. That's somebody who sprays out or in, but also indoors they do it. Inside of a domicile, in an igloo, under a hat. Some people, if they're, if you're stuck outdoors and you want to jerk off, some people back in the day, they would dig a hole and get down in, just get under all the dirt, put all the dirt back on top of them, and then jerk off down in the dirt, and that's old school. That's some 1900 shit, that's 1900 style. But but a pervert is somebody that instead of doing it behind closed doors, they go out and do it out and about, or they do it at a party, or they do it at a, quinceañera. Somebody blows out the candles and they're in the distance, warming up one more, they're in the distance, starting up a little cake of their own, and that's a pervert. And so anyway, the thing on there, it's like you have to play a pervert. And I'm like, what? And look, I'm not a pervert, man. I'm not a pedophile. I've never done anything like that. And I've babysat overnight. I've babysat overnight with my nieces and nephews countless times. And I feel eternally grateful and thankful that I don't have that infection, that disease. Because that's a troubling disease, And we look at those people that have those types of things, and we say, man, it's so unfortunate for their victims, and it is. But it's also nobody's starting their life out choosing to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Choosing to wear a backpack made out of Satan. Choosing to run around with the dark arts just flowing so strong inside of their veins that they almost would cut their wrists just to relieve themselves of the dark desires that they have. And so anyway, I got that, dude, next thing you know, I'm reading the script. I'm like, damn, there's a creepy guy in here. And then I get to the end and I'm like, oh, there's only really two people in it. Bhad Bhabie and the creepy guy. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm the creepy guy. I'm the pervert. So next thing you know, the director texts me. He's like, well, look, man, David Spade recommended you. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Because first of all, David Spade is one of my favorite entertainers of all time. I mean, the fact that, we have Chris Farley, his a painting of Chris Farley up here in our studio, and the fact that he got to work with him, Black Sheep, Tommy Boy, what's the movie, I think he was in Sin of a Woman, I think, or something, I don't know, or he just gets a lot of hussy, you know what I'm saying? But I love David Spade. Oh, Joe Dirt, and people, and I thought Joe Dirt, a lot of people don't know this, I thought it was a documentary when I first saw it. And I remember when I finally got to interview David Spade, he came on Allegedly, which was a podcast that I've done with Matthew Cole Weiss for a while. And he came on to Allegedly, and he's like, and I was like, hey, did a lot of orphans like reach out to you when Joe Dirt came out? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, and I explained to him, and he's like, dude, that's not a fucking documentary. He's like, you're an idiot. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, man. David Spade has called me an idiot. It made me feel good. But anyhow, so next thing you know, the director's like, well, why don't you get in touch with David Spade? And I'm like, I don't know David Spade's number. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm not just walking around with people like David Spade's number, or people like, who else? Kris Kringle, frickin' Rain Man, anybody else, dude. Wolverine, who the fuck does this guy think I am? Katy Perry. I don't have just ultimate numbers in my phone. So he sends me David Spade's number. I'm like, oh, wow. What do I do with David Spade's number? So I'm like, well, I don't really call David. And I know David Spade through, we have a mutual friend, Adam Egget, who's the booker at the Comedy Store. And I know him through just seeing him in circles. And we chat sometimes a little bit. And I would consider us buddies, but I wouldn't say that we're really friends yet, because we just I don't know him well enough. And, it's that weird thing where I don't want to, I don't feel like I fanboy out around him or anything, but I am a fan of his work. So it's not uncomfortable, but it's there's an admiration there that sometimes I get excited about. Maybe I can't hide. And he might be like, man, this is a fun conversation, but your cheeks are all flushed, or your eyes are flickering while we're talking, or you're erect. Like, what's going on, buddy? So sometimes I can't hide my, just genuine excitement that God just sends out, just vibing out through my my eyelids, or through even my crotch sometimes if I'm, keyed up or excited. So next thing you know, I have David Spade's number, and I call, it goes to voicemail, and then I get a call back. And this is, and so I'm like, well, what the hell? How do I stand up? Do I sit down? You know what I'm saying? Do I lay down? How do I answer the phone when David Spade calls? So, I'm just trying to, I go outside. I was inside of a loud place, and I'm like, I don't want him to think that I, hang out in loud places, I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking, dude. And then I was like, fuck, dude, I don't feel like I'm very tall, because I always have this thing in my head, I don't feel like because I am 6 feet tall, even though some people will say I'm not. And if you look at older, if you use an old fucking ruler from a long time ago where they didn't really put that full inch in there, then yeah, then I definitely make it. But if you use kind of these newer rulers where things are a lot more, certain, I kind of get there. And I think I get there. And some people say I don't. But I think I come in right at 6 feet, and strong, that fucking, I'm right there 5'11" and 7/8, dude. And if the wind blows upward, it'll fucking kind of pick me up just enough to get me at that 6 foot. But I always have these insecurities. I have the insecurities of having that, I have a limited neck. My neck doesn't go very far. And we've talked about that on here, and I talk about it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I can't really look around that much. So I have to either look forward, or I have to turn around and then also look forward, which is behind me at that point because I turned around. And so next thing you know, man, I stand on a bench. There's a bench right there. So I'm like, well, fuck, I want to sound tall when I talk to David Spade on the phone, even though I already know, he already knows how tall I am, right? So next thing you know, I'm on the phone, and he starts telling me about the video. And I said, well, look, I'm a little nervous. I don't want to be seen as like a pervert, I don't want to be seen as a pedophile. And so he's like, nah, man. He's like, this is a chance for you to act, you get to be funny a lot, but do you get to be, creepy and dark? And I'm like, well, I have I said, I've struggled over my life with, masturbation and stuff like that. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I don't know. And so then we kind of thankfully got out of that topic for a second. But I was trying to tell him that I've been into some dark arts or anything, I've had some issues and addiction issues and stuff. But he's just like, look, this is a chance for you to play a creeper. You can be a creeper, and that's it. So next thing you know, I text the director, and I said, I'm in. And 2 days later, I'm on set with Bhad Bhabie. Let me look this shit up. I thought it was Bhad Bhabie, and then I thought, I was like, well, her fan base has to be called Bhad's Jihad, right? But it is Bhad. When I first saw it, I was like, is she a sheep owner? Yeah, Danielle Bregoli, that Bhad Bhabie, Cash Me Outside. So anyway, next thing you know, I'm on set, and boom, there I am. And I'm on, it's like, and dude, it's a real music video. There's like smoke, and there's like a table in the distance with everybody eating orange slices and like fancy oranges, like oranges from fucking Sweden or Portland. And everybody's, they have all kind of cashews and they have, people, they have some dudes walking around with radios and shit who aren't doing shit, but just, carrying around electronics basically. And it was so next thing you know, I'm in this, dude, I'm playing a pervert. And I'm playing a pervert, and we did it. We did the whole video, and we did a night shoot, and it was wild. And then I came back 2 days later, and we did some pick-me-ups. So it's just gonna be something that you're gonna be able to. It was the craziest thing. Like, you would never think I would be in that, and then there I was, man. But the crazy part is, here's one of the weirdest things. So a couple of my friends knew about it, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell anybody about it, but. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do on here. We just say what's going on. And so, and my buddies are texting me and they're like, hey man, that chick is so hot, bro. Set me up. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking? I'm playing a pervert, bro, because of guys like you. Because of guys like you, I'm here. And this is the role I'm in. So it was just intense, man. My buddies are like, set me up with her. I'm like, dude, I'm not setting you up with a child. Dude, that's called sex trafficking. That's called sex trafficking, man. So it's just, it's just wild. But then also, she gets, it's wild how we sexualize. I don't want to say that we sexualize children, but there's the industry, like, you'll put a young girl and have her look sexual, if they're developed, you'll have them look sexual. And I just start to wonder, like, I guess if somebody's is really a pervert, then they don't know when to say, okay, that is a child, or that's a kid, or that's legally not okay. And then, and then it is okay. Because that starting line is 18. So that's the starting line. But yeah, I guess that's the difference, is some people can't shut down that part of their brain where they want to, join they want to, coach children's softball or whatever, or that kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't know why I got into all that, but you can see me in a Bhad Bhabie music video coming out. And look, I was so nervous, like, there's one part where I'm like, because she catches me and I'm like pinned down on this like Dexter style deal, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm like, and I even said to the director, I was like, dude, I just want to, like, I'm okay with, I said, just tell me this, tell me if I look like somebody who can't act trying to act. That's what I do not want to look like that. He's like, nah, man, you did a good job. And it was pretty crazy, man. It was just crazy. It was crazy to be in there. And people are like, well, what's Danielle Bregoli like? What's Bhad Bhabie like? And I said, well, she's the Cash Me Outside girl, She, and that's who she is. And she's also a kid. She's a ninth grader. So when you talk to her, it's like talking to somebody in the ninth grade. but she definitely had a lot of swagger. She was definitely fun. She was fun to be around. She had a good sense of humor, I thought. Like the second time we did pickup shots, which was last night or 2 nights ago, she made it like it was easy to joke around and stuff with her. I mean, if anything, what I realized about myself was that definitely, because I haven't been around a 15-year. I don't hang out around any people this age, and so good. First of all, and it was just. I realized like, oh yeah, these kids, this is another generation. They live in a world that I do not know about, and I am thankful that I don't know about it, and I'm thankful that I'm just here playing a pervert or pedophile today, just as an actor, and not suffering with that in my real life. And I'm grateful for that, man. Thank you guys for checking out this clip, and if you want to see another clip, then you can look at this clip or this clip, either one of these. So did you pick one, or are you still just watching me do this? Because this is alarming.